Hey guys, it's Jake with Buckeye Bushcraft back here again with another video. Today I'm going to give you guys a few tips that I like to use during the colder months when it comes to gear and packing gear. So stay with me. One thing we have to think about when it comes to wintertime is everything that we carry is usually going to be bulkier. Our sleeping equipment is going to be a little bit more beefed up. It's going to take up a lot more room in our pack. And usually we have to resort to using a bigger style pack. I'm going to show you guys what I like to do whenever I am packing for a couple days with all of my sleeping equipment. Okay, so whenever you look at this bag, you can tell this thing is stuffed to the gills. But 2/3 of what is in here is my sleeping equipment. Again, it's like 22 degrees out here. It's kind of windy. We've had some snow squalls all morning and it's been super cold. So like I said, our sleeping equipment is going to be a little bit more beefed up than it would be, say, in the spring or summertime. So what I like to do is I got all my easy to reach stuff up on top. This is a navigation pouch, some cordage. So what I like to do when it comes to my bag is I don't put anything in stuff sacks. This right here is a 0 degree down quilt from hammockgear.com. This is a very, very warm quilt. That's what I use in the wintertime religiously. And it will keep you warm. Again, it is down, so it packs up small. It may not have the versatility as wool, but it's gonna keep you warmer than wool is. So, the bottom here, I've just got some other shelter stuff, got some demo stuff. So, but I've got the bottom pretty well packed. And one thing a lot of people do is they will stick or roll their bedroll up and stick it on the outside of their pack. Me personally, I absolutely hate that and I cannot stand it because it snags on everything when you're walking through the woods, and I don't like that. And if it rains and it's not in a dry bag or wrapped up in a tarp, it's going to get wet. So I like to keep everything inside my bag and keep it as streamlined as possible, minus some things on the outside. So instead of rolling this thing up in a stuff sack, stuffing it in the bottom or anything like that, what that's going to do is it's going to take up a large amount of room in one area. And then you have, you know, your sleeping mat, maybe a gum blanket of some sort or a moisture barrier. Then you have all your other equipment on top of that, food, extra layers, clothing, things like that. So what I like to do is I will pack my entire bag, everything I'm going to need besides my bulkiest piece of equipment, which would be the sleep system or the overquilt. So I'll pack my entire bag with everything, and what I'll do is I will take just a corner of this thing and I'll just start stuffing it, and all the little nooks and crannies, gonna have to move it around a little bit. I'll stuff it everywhere it'll fit, and it will go. You see, I got the bottom of this bag that was already stuffed, and I'm stuffing it with more now. Just like that. Oop, got my strap in there. So now I have my entire sleeping system in here. It's stuffed all the way around on the bottom and on the sides, all around all of my other equipment towards the bottom 2/3 of my pack. And I still have a little bit of room left up here on top. That's where I'll put my important stuff. Nav stuff, and then headlight with extra batteries. And then a hank of paracord. Zip that dude up. Yeah, zipper's a little frozen. Clip it. And go. Now you're ready. You look at this bag, I've got my water bottle cup set on the side, my forest tool, my folding saw, and then just a 15-minute road flare. We'll talk about that in just a minute. So I've got all my tools on the outside, my water on the outside, all that good stuff. Everything else inside can wait a little bit to get to. I don't have to get to it immediately. Okay, so we have our sleep system and stuff out of the way, kind of how I like to pack it. It may help you out, especially when you get those big bulky items. Again, there's nothing wrong with strapping stuff to the bottom or the top of your pack. I just don't like to. I like to keep everything as consolidated and as neat as possible and as organized as possible. Something else you can think about doing whenever you're packing your bag for wintertime, whether you're camping, it's a survival kit, bushcraft kit, what have you, one thing you can do is oversize your fire starting equipment. That way it's easier to handle. I don't know if you can see this or not, but I have a problem with my fingers getting super cold super quick because I got frostbite when I was younger. So my middle finger, I cannot even feel right now, even with gloves on. So with that being said, if you do have a problem with your hands in the cold, whether they get cold easy, you lose dexterity in them easy, that's what happens to me. My hands kind of harden up and it gets kind of hard to use your fine motor skills. So I like to carry some things that will help me out when it's cold, like this morning, and my hands are frozen, something that's easy to manipulate and that's not going to fail me no matter what. Okay, so in the top of my bag, on the back here, there is a zipper pocket that's directly on the top. This is where I keep all of my fire starting equipment at. So, as much as I absolutely do not like matches, in a wintertime situation, they're one of your best options because you don't have to try to manipulate a little wheel whenever you are striking a lighter. You also don't have to worry about the matches getting too cold. But I tell people, if they're going to carry matches, carry these huge Yuko Titan Stormproof matches. These things are like 3 or 4 inches long and they burn like a road flare. You guys saw me start the fire with that a little bit ago with one of these, and I think there's only 12 or 14 of them in here, but it does not take that gross or fine motor skill with the very tip of your thumb or whatever. All you have to do is basically just hold it in your hand, just monkey fist it, and then strike it, and it's going to go. You can blow on them, you could dip them in water, do whatever you want, and they're going to go for you. I could probably shove this thing down here in the dirt just like that, and it's still going to go. So I like to carry these big Yuko Stormproof Titan matches. Again, some type of lighter. If you keep one close to your body, that's like on our Arctic survival necklace, that's going to be your best option. Even if you're carrying lighters inside of your pocket, if it's not in between layers, it's still going to get cold and not work as well for you. Again, this takes a fine, you can see that lighter won't hardly light. Yes, I can warm it up. It'll take me just a few seconds to warm it up, but still, this is a fine motor skill right here, striking this lighter, compared to using that huge match. But I do like to keep an extra lighter in here. It's just an Exotac carrier. Next thing is going to be some type of ferrocerium rod. Now, you can carry the big 6-inch by 1/2 inch rods. You can also carry like the they make like an 8-inch by 1/2 inch. They make some seriously big ferrocerium rods. So what I like to use personally, though, because I grew up using these, I like them. I'm just not gonna not gonna get out of the habit. Is these huge Strike Force ferro rods. The black ones are kind of hard to find and they're no longer made. But I got extra duct tape wrapped around it. I've got a Ranger band, so that's extra fire starting equipment and also repair equipment. But what I like about this is that it has a huge handle on it. So I don't have to, my hands can be freezing and I'm still going to be able to grip this handle and strike this ferro rod if I need to. I'm not trying to sit there and dink around with the little tiny ferro rod. I've got something I can really grip onto and kind of just monkey fist it and not have to worry about it. And also, again, in the back, it has a place for some type of fire starting tinder. It's like that, and then I just keep a little light on the end of mine. But all these items right here, besides the lighter, will help me get a fire going quicker in a bad situation if need be, and also help me out if I have very poor dexterity in my hands. The last item that I like to have with me in the wintertime is some type of emergency road flare. Just like this one right here. This one right here is a 15-minute road flare. It's a little bit bigger, slides down in this side pocket really snugly. You don't even really know it's there. But these things right here will work wonders for you if you're in a situation where you need to get a fire going, you need to get it going right now, and you have almost zero dexterity in your hands. What you have to do is grip it, pull the tab off, and strike it basically. It's also really great for signaling. Anytime you need a signal for rescue, you need to have those items with you or on your person ready to go at a moment's notice. Nobody really talks about signaling till it's time to signal. So, but these road flares are going to be really freaking hard to beat, even if you have a big orange bandana or orange tarp. If you're driving down the road or on the interstate at night and you see kind of a glowing red off in the distance and you're just sitting there wondering what it is 2 or 3 miles out until you finally get to it and you realize it's a road flare. Again, it's great for fire starting. These burn super freaking hot. These will burn when they're wet. You can put them out and reuse them, but whenever you do that, you have to use some type of external flame source like a lighter or a match. Get different sizes and stuff. I really prefer the 15-minute road flare because 15 minutes is plenty of time to get a fire going or signal for rescue. So you have fire starting, daytime and nighttime signaling that also has contrast, and if you move it, movement. Something that'll deter wildlife in a pinch if you don't carry a firearm and you come up on some type of predator animal. Then you also have something that'll give you light at nighttime. Doesn't matter what the weather is, doesn't matter how windy it is, this thing will go. So this thing packs a really heavy punch for how small it is. That's why I carry one. Something else that I also like to do in the wintertime are keep a few essential small survival items around my neck. It keeps them warm and it keeps them close to my body and I don't have to worry about losing them. As you can see here, I have my Mora knife that I keep around my neck. I also have my Arctic survival necklace that has a compass from True Nord. Also has a lighter wrapped in duct tape with a small photon light on it. And then I also have a whistle for signaling for rescue, and then a ferrocerium rod that has a small compartment on the inside to house some type of tinder. And then with that, I also have a ferrocerium rod striker. That all fits down nice and snug in between my layers and keeps it safe. A couple other small little tips and tricks I like to do. I tell people carry hand warmers, or actually those stick-on body warmers, just because they work better. You know, it's the 21st century. We have the equipment available to us. Why not use it? They are super thin. They don't hardly weigh anything. You can toss 8 or 9 of them in your bag for a weekend and be good to go. You can also use those and tape them to any type of external brick that you use to charge your phone, because we all know cold weather sucks battery life out of anything. Also with cold weather, I'm sure a lot of people already do this trick. You can heat up your water bottle in the fire right before you go to bed, pull it out of the fire, get that boiling water, let it cool off a little bit. Wind. I don't have like my fluffy mic sock on, so hopefully the wind's not too bad. But what else you can do is take that bottle out of the fire, let it cool down just a little bit, enough to where you can touch it and feel it and it doesn't burn you. Stick it in the bottom of your sleeping bag and you'll be good to go. You can also do the same with those body warmers where they stick. I like to stick them right in the foot box of my overquilt and on the top of it, on the inside, and it keeps me warm all night long. Guys, that pretty much concludes this video. If you guys have any type of winter survival tips or winter bushcraft or camping tips, put them in the comment section below. I'm sure there are some people out there that endure a lot more cold weather than I do. Here in Southern Ohio, we get cold weather. We don't get a ton of snow. And usually if it dips down below 15 degrees, that's cold for us. So if you have any super cold weather tips or anything like that, put them in the comment section below and get a conversation started. Well, hopefully you guys learned something from this video. I'm Jake with Buckeye Bushcraft. Thank you guys for joining me. If you guys are interested in any type of training or classes or equipment, you can check out my website at buckeyebushcraft.com. If you're interested in any type of waxed canvas goods, you click on the Campcraft Outfitters link below. They'll take you to their website. I also want to say that in early 2024, we do have a couple classes coming up with Sean Kelly. We used to teach together, and so the boys are back together again. So you can click the link below to go to my website to check out the dates on those classes with Sean Kelly if you're interested in training with him or I. Guys, I'm Jake with Buckeye Bushcraft. Appreciate everything you guys do. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at Buckeye_Bushcraft. All the links are in the description box below. I'll see you guys next time. Stay warm.